Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carly. I am a knitter and yarn dyer coming to you from Alberta, Canada. If you're new here, I do mostly traditional knitting podcast style episodes where I talk about my works in progress, my finished objects, and any future plans that I have for my knitting. If you missed the last episode, we did an episode where it was talking only about my finished objects because I had about a 3-month hiatus from YouTube. So I had quite a bit of updates for you all, and I wanted to focus that episode on all of my finished objects. This episode is going to be focused on all of my WIPS that I have been working on for the past month or two. I'm really excited to share with you what's on my needles lately, but before we get into that, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. And this is the Garden Walk shawl. It is a design by myself, and it is also a free Ravelry download. So if you're interested, the link is down below along with all the patterns that I talk about today. I did knit this in Queensland Collection Eco Twist in the colorway Earth Song, and that was gifted to me from Knitting Fever. I'll get up and show you a little bit up close here of what the lace design looks like on the shawl. As you can see, I'm just wearing it draped over my shoulders, and I find that especially for today, it's a little bit warm in the house. I have some food cooking and it's heating up the house a little bit, and so it's just a nice little light layer to have over my shoulders where I'm not overheating in a big knit sweater. So yeah, I really enjoy this. I think it's nice and neutral too. It goes with so many things, and I really love how I have it styled today with just a basic white shirt and also these jewelry pieces that I have on today, which brings me to the sponsor of today's video. I have partnered with Ana Luisa, and today I am wearing the Dakota earrings in marble blue and the Laura bold necklace. I have been wearing these pieces for the last couple of weeks, and I am just so excited that they're part of my closet and I can add them to my wardrobe and spice up different outfits. It's been especially fun to see how I can add them with all of my knitwear and to see how it elevates all of these pieces. I think it also looks so good with just a basic white shirt, and I'm so excited to see how I can style them even more with my other knits. Ana Luisa has so many options on their website, including matching sets, or you can mix and match like I did with what I'm wearing today. I've really been enjoying wearing these pieces. I find that they are so dainty and easy to wear. You can also change the length on this necklace. You can make it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, depending on maybe the neckline of your top that you're wearing. And I find that these earrings are super lightweight. Like, I can barely even tell that I'm wearing them, and I can't wait to buy more pieces in the future. Ana Luisa jewelry is made with exceptional quality and is backed by a 2-year warranty. They also have an amazing affordable price point starting at just $39. As we move into the holiday season, now is the perfect time to buy some gifts for others in your life, or even to treat yourself, especially if you've been doing a lot of gift knitting for others. There are so many options on the website, so I think it might be a little bit tricky to choose. I know it was difficult for myself. Black Friday is here, and Ana Luisa is offering up to 30% off site-wide. Now is the best time to stack some of your favorites, or even get a head start on your gift shopping. Be sure to use the link below or scan the QR code here on the screen to get your 30% off. And thank you, Ana Luisa, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, time for some WIPS now. I am not going to go in any particular order. I just have a pile over here, and I'm just going to grab whatever's on top and we'll start there. Now, this one is a gift knit for my boyfriend, Andrew. He knows about it. We picked the pattern together and the yarn together. So, yes, he's been very much involved in the process, which is what I prefer for a gift knit. When you're putting so much time and energy, I just really don't want to have to worry about the size, the fit, the color of the yarn, the feel of the yarn, the style of the pattern, all of that. So I think it's really nice to have them involved if you're gift knitting. And with this one, it's definitely a slow going knit. I started this on October 17th, and this is the Nomad jacket by Wool and Beyond. And this is just taking forever, and I only have myself to blame because it is the pattern that I suggested to Andrew. He showed me some inspiration pictures of what he was looking for, and he kind of wanted like a shacket type style cardigan jacket. and the Nomad jacket immediately popped into my head. This is one that I had on my favorite list for a really long time and wanted to make for myself, but just never got around to it. So I'm knitting it in some beautiful yarn, and it is the Noro Viola number 27 here, which was gifted to me from Knitting Fever. As you can see, it's mostly a neutral base with lots of beautiful, subtle, soft colors kind of spun into the yarn. I have knit a sweater out of this before. I knit the Field Day Jacket by Ozetta. And my boyfriend, he absolutely loved the way that the yarn looked in that cardigan. So he was just dying to have a sweater for himself in it. And I had a lot left over, so that was no problem at all. So with this piece, it is knit in mostly, what is it called? Honeycomb brioche. And I have not done brioche at all, not even just the regular brioche. So this was definitely something new for me, which is fun because I was ready for something new. But you do start with the back panel, I guess, and it's all double knit, and you do it sideways. So I'm going to show you here in a second. And if you aren't familiar with double knitting, it's basically a really condensed fabric. You are slipping every second stitch on both sides of your work, so it just takes a really long time to get through. It takes a lot of knitting to make any sort of progress, and it seems like it takes about twice as long to get the length that you would get to just do some plain stockinette knitting. So this is what I have so far, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is the back piece here, so it'll be like this on the back, and this piece here was all double knit. So that took me maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. It took that long. And it just didn't end, this double knit. But I think this is the part, this is the only piece on the actual sweater itself that's like a big block of double knitting that I'm currently aware of. There, maybe the pockets are, and the button band might be, but this is like the largest part for sure. So I've got that done, and I think like the slowest part is over with, so that's really good. And I really like it because it's worked sideways, as you can see. And then you pick up stitches down here. You do an I-cord, an applied I-cord, to create a seam, and then you pick up stitches again after that, and you start working down. And now I am doing the honeycomb brioche, and I think it just looks absolutely amazing in this yarn. And the honeycomb brioche is really nice because worked flat. I don't know what it's like worked in the round actually, but I'm assuming it involves purling. But this whole thing is basically worked flat, to my knowledge. I haven't really read ahead, but that's just kind of what I'm assuming. It seems like there's some seaming involved. And when you work flat on honeycomb brioche, there's no purling. So that's kind of nice. If you aren't a fan of purling, I don't mind it, but it definitely slows me down. This is a slower stitch too, though. It does involve working in the stitch below, so it feels like it really is a condensed fabric. So overall, this is just going to be a slow going project, which is fine by me. I told Andrew, I don't even know if I'm going to get this done by the time winter ends. And I mean, where I live, or where we live, we can definitely wear this into spring and like to the start of summer, so we should be okay. But even then, like, hopefully I'm done this by spring or by the end of spring so you can get a little bit of wear out of it. But I'm really happy with the progress so far. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's going to look really good when it's done. And all of this time and effort will be worth it because I know Andrew is extremely knitworthy. I've only knit him one sweater before. I've knit him socks and a hat as well, and he wears those all the time, and the sweater, and is extremely appreciative of the time and effort I put into it, and just notices every single detail and appreciates yarn so much. So he's definitely knit-worthy, and I'm excited for him to have this. I think I'll steal it a few times and wear it also if it's not incredibly oversized on me, but we'll see. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. I'm obsessed with this yarn. This is one of my all-time favorite yarns ever that I've worked with. I think it's beyond beautiful. And I don't have the yarn tag with me right now, but I believe this is 100% wool, and it's, I think like you could get a DK worsted weight gauge with it. And the balls of yarn of these cakes are just huge, so it's really nice. You don't have to worry about, you know, changing to a new strand of yarn too often, but it also splices really well, so you don't have to weave in ends, which is amazing. So yes, I'm very happy with this one. I think it's gorgeous. It's just gonna take a really long time, and I've come to terms with that. And I am just working back the back piece until a certain length. I do have to do some increases here soon for the underarms. I am lengthening it a bit to compare to what it suggests for in the pattern for his size, because I believe this is probably graded for female bodies, and so with Andrew he'll just have a bit more depth for his like shoulder to armpit area, so I'm just lengthening that a little bit. And yeah, oh, another thing, I might actually do the sleeves in stockinette instead of honeycomb brioche, because there is a good chance that I could run out of yarn, and honeycomb brioche eats up a little bit more yarn versus stockinette. And also this honeycomb brioche is just a little bit tough on my hands, and I just don't think I could handle doing 2 sleeves in the brioche. So I'm just going to do stockinette, but I think it'll tie it all together really well because the pockets on the front are stockinette. And then with this back piece here, I believe you'll pick up stitches. This is the shoulder, and continue the sleeves from there. So it almost like the stockinette will just continue down the sleeves, and I think that'll look really good and cohesive, and it'll just make the experience a little bit more enjoyable for me. So I just have to worry about doing the back piece and the 2 front pieces in this brioche, and then the rest will be stockinette, and that'll be amazing. And I'm sure it'll feel like it's just flying by once I get to the sleeves. The sleeves also might be knit flat, and then like I think you pick up the stitches around the shoulder, but you knit it flat, and then you seam up that whole side seam at the end. I'm pretty sure that's what happens, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. I haven't read ahead. So if that is the case, then I will seam up the side first and then pick up the armhole stitches just like you would in a seamless sweater, and then just knit them stockinette in the round. And then I also am probably going to do more of a tapered sleeve, because on the pictures the sleeves are very straight, billowy, oversized, and for Andrew I think he would prefer more of like a tapered fitted sleeve, not fitted, but just not like a billowy sleeve. So I think doing it in stockinette and in the round will give me a little bit more control for working in some decreases to make a tapered sleeve. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I will also be adding some antler buttons to this, and I think it'll look really good with these colors here. So yeah, that is my first WIP. Like I said, I started this October 17th. It's, by the time this goes live, it's the end of November right now. So yeah, it's just taken a long time, but that's okay. I'm excited about it. And once I get some good progress on that, where a lot has changed, I will be sure to update you on that sweater again. The next WIP that I have here, they are the Sailor Slippers by Germain. Now this one, extremely popular. It's been like the top pattern on the Hot Right Now list for a couple weeks now, I think, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware of them. But they are a chunky slipper that you actually felt in the washing machine afterwards. And I started this November 9th, and I've only worked on it for about 2 days, I think, and then I put it away because it was hurting my hands. I hate working with chunky needles, so I'm using 8mm needles, and I'm using my own naturally dyed yarn that is a 2-ply worsted, and I'm holding it double to get a chunky or super bulky weight. And this is what I have so far. So I am knitting them for myself. It's about for size US 7 women's, and yeah, they're huge already, but again, you are felting them, so you need a lot of fabric here so it shrinks to the proper size. But it's just really simple, really easy. You start with this back piece here. It's just a rectangle, and then you pick up stitches and start the front piece here of the slipper. And then I believe after that you do some decreases here soon for the toe, and then once you're to the top of the toe, I believe you start knitting the like the sole of the foot, and then I think after you seam it all together. I'm pretty sure that's what happens, but again, don't take my word for that because I have not read ahead. I'm just going based off of the pictures I've seen of projects on Ravelry, of which there are a lot already, and they're really fun to look at everybody's version. So if you haven't done that already, I highly recommend. I'm sure it'll give you a lot of inspiration and possibly the desire to cast one on. I know that's what happened for me. So these needles are hitting my chair, but yeah, the pattern is for stripes, but obviously you can do whatever you want really. Some people have done color work, some have done stripes, solids, and I chose to do solid for this, and I'm so excited to have these. I don't know, like there's no rush for me to have them. Like I said, it really irritates my hands just working with large needles like this. But I do imagine I want to have something like fluffy around the cuff. So I'm excited about that. I think that's something I'd probably add after felting, but I'm not sure if that's possible. I haven't done a whole lot of felting, so I don't know how tricky it would be to add like some fluff around the felted fabric. Maybe it'll be too tough. But if not, they'll be cute on their own as well. So yes, there's not a whole lot to say about this. Just a really simple slipper that will be felted. And yes, this yarn, it is naturally a gray color, and I dyed it with marigolds. I hope it isn't too loud outside. It's been incredibly annoying all day. The leaf blowers are out in full force, and it's just every time I try to record, they start up right by my window. And I just cannot tell you how much I hate leaf blowers. They also just seem so pointless because they just blow them around and then it gets windy and then the leaves are back. And it's just like, who cares about the leaves? Anyways, they're very disruptive, and I'm really hoping that you can't hear it. If you do hear a little bit, I'm sorry. I've been trying all day and I just cannot escape these leaf blowers. This next WIP is actually a really exciting one. It is a crochet piece, and this is one that I started a while back. Let me check what date. I started this August 9th, and this is a pattern by Cintia Gonzalez, and this is the Scrappy yarn basket. And I basically had a lot of leftovers from an advent from, I think 2 years ago, from Big Little Yarn Co. And I used up that advent to knit a shawl, but again, I had a lot of leftovers. So I didn't really know what to do. So I thought a scrappy project with crochet would be awesome, just because crochet eats up a lot more yarn faster. And I'm also holding 4 fingering weight yarns held together, and it is just eating up so much yarn, and it is really satisfying and fun to work with. So I think I have 2 colors left of this advent, and then I'm completely done. I've used up every single bit of the scraps, and then after that I'm just using some other scraps from previous sock projects and other fingering weight projects that I've had, which are probably all socks. And I am just loving it. It's a really fun piece. You get to play with color. I got to shape this basket. I'm just shaking it up a bit because it's been squished in a basket. I don't work on it that often. It's just, I kind of just pick it up if I'm getting sick of the projects that I'm working on. So this, oh God, it's hard to show. This is the basket. As you can see, there's the bottom. It's quite big. It's just a single crochet all the way around. So how fun is that? Look at all the colors. The bottom was like pink, and I kind of wish I saved that for the top. But, and it's a little floppy right now, but once I sit it on the ground and I shape it out, it stands up really nicely. But I'm just trying to awkwardly show it right now, and it's not working. But Oh my god, how am I gonna show this? Anyways, you get the idea. Let me show you a bit closer. You can see all of the colors. Like I said, these are 4 fingering weight yarns held together. And it is just so much fun, and I am doing the magic knot to tie the yarns together, so I'm using every little bit of yarn. And I do a magic knot and I leave the ends. I don't cut off the ends of the magic knot. I leave the ends and I crochet over them about like for maybe 3 stitches if I can, and then if there's a little tail I just snip that off, and that's how I've been joining the yarns together, and it's just been working really well. And the purpose of this project is to hold all of the crochet toys that I'm working on. If you're new here, I am working on a bunch of crocheted toys to put in this basket that will be a little like basket that I'll bring out when my niece and nephew visit me, and they'll have some toys to play with because I currently don't have any toys for them. And I just can't wait to have a whole basket of handmade toys. And it's it's just a perfect way to use up scraps and leftovers. It's really nice because leftovers can become overwhelming quite quickly. So this has just been, I don't know, so satisfying to have done. I've been holding all of them in here. As you can see, I have a full skein. I don't think I'm gonna add that in. I just didn't really know what to do with that one, so I put that in just in case. This one was a full skein that I just didn't know what to do with, so I threw it in here. And then this one, these 2 here, those are the only ones left that I have of the Advent project. And I've got a little mini here from Brian Dye Works. I'm not really sure. I might use it for something else, but I put it in this basket just in case. But when I started, this basket was full of little balls like this, and even some as small as this. And I've used up every single one. And so it's just been super satisfying and really fun to see it grow into a basket. So I'm almost done it. Actually, I think the length or the height of it is pretty good. I'm just going to add maybe about this much more. Then I will add some handles to it, and then about that much more above the handles. And then I'm gonna finish it off. And I definitely have plans to make more scrappy crochet baskets in the future, maybe smaller sizes, and they can just house, I don't know what they're gonna house, but they could also be perfect for like a sock project, and I can carry that basket around and keep it in the house. And I'm just really excited to do some more crochet. It's definitely nice to have a break from different projects and have this crochet piece as a little palette cleanser in between projects, or just something so mindless when I just don't have the capacity to work on other things that require a bit more brain power, especially once you get past doing the circle here and you don't have to count and do increases. You're just doing single crochets all the way around and around and around. You don't have to count, and it's incredibly mindless, and it's just really nice. Next up, I have 3 pairs of socks. Well, no, they're not full pairs. I've just finished 1 sock of each pair in different colorways using my own hand-dyed yarn. So I was knitting these up for sample colorways for a couple of the markets that I did over the summer. So they do have tags on them. I'm really excited to share these though, because they are new colorways that I haven't dyed before, and all with plants that I grew this summer. So let's do this one first. So this is the Gladiolus colorway. This is in the BFL sock, and all of these colorways that I'm showing today are up on the website if you're interested. And also just a bit of an update, I'm only currently shipping to Canada at the moment. I just haven't figured out the US shipping yet, but yes, so just shipping to Canada. This is the BFL sock. I just did pretty much vanilla socks for all of these, self-drafted with my favorite short row heel. So here is the Gladiolus colorway. I actually did no ribbing for this one. I just went straight stockinette and had a nice cute little rolled hem and short row heel and just a regular foot. So yeah, I love this. Gladiolus is an amazing flower. I just think this one's really fun. There's lots of different colors in there. When you get up close, you can see a little bit of a purple almost. There's some blue, green and yellow, and obviously the blue. Oh, there's another speckle of purple. I just have such a good time knitting with the BFL sock, and especially with new colorways, because I don't really know what they're gonna look like. And this was my first time dyeing with Gladiolus as well, so that was really fun. And yeah, I love it. It's so much fun knitting with plant dyed yarn. This next one is BFL sock again, and it's onion and sunflower. And this one is a self-drafted sock as well, but I did a pretty much a vanilla sock, but I just plugged in some 1x1 broken ribs. So that's doing knit purl on one round, and then the next round you do all knits and you alternate between those two. And then I also did a short row heel, and this is probably one of my favorite ways to knit socks. I mean, it does take a little bit longer with the 1x1 ribbing, but I just find that it's a really nice fit along the foot. It cinches it in just slightly, having that broken rib. And I just really like the texture, especially with a lightly speckled yarn like this. I think it looks really pretty. So a lot of the greens that you see there, that is the onion skin. It is red onion skin. And then here on the stockinette side, you can see a lot of the gold. Those were from sunflower petals. I really, really love this sock here. I haven't cast on any of the second socks, and it's not a second sock syndrome. It's just that I, again, had to knit these up for samples for markets. And it was just kind of a rush to get them knit up that I didn't have time to cast on the second ones. And a lot of time has passed since then, and I've started other projects, and I really want to get them on the go, but I'm focusing so much on Andrew's sweater that it just feels wrong to knit or cast on another sock. Eventually I will, because I love them. I love them so, so much. But yeah, they're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. And this BFL sock is just so soft and feels so luxurious. I really love wearing and knitting them. And the final one here, this is a really fun one. This is Coreopsis, and it is probably like the most fall colorway you could imagine. And how beautiful is that? I had so much fun knitting this one, to see how the yarn and the colors were going to show up. As you can see, I just did a rolled hem again. I was really loving skipping the ribbing, so that's what I continued to do, and it felt really good, and it went for a really quick sock. And before blocking, yeah, it rolled down quite a bit, but after blocking now, it's just a cute little rolled hem, and I really like the look of it. I might even, once I have an actual pair to wear, like fold them down a little bit. I think that looks really cute with the reverse stockinette. But yes, again, short row heel, just all stockinette. And how pretty is that colorway? So there's lots of this in the shop as well. Yeah, I just love them. I think they look really pretty. Got some all different colors here. And there are other colors in the shop too, but these were the main ones that I wanted to highlight and test out with some sample knits. I really miss sock knitting actually, and I'm excited to get back into it once I get that sweater off my needles. But of course, like I said, that sweater's gonna take a long time, so I might cast on some socks in the meantime eventually. Those are all the WIPs that I have to share with you all today. I would love to know what's on your needles at the moment, and I'm sure that you have more than one thing on your needles, but maybe what's the main project that you're working on. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of my WIPs. I really enjoyed sharing that all with you. And don't forget to check out Ana Luisa and use my link below to see all of the amazing deals for Black Friday. Thank you, Ana Luisa, for partnering with me on today's video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!